Hello everyone, I am a Bullis Student Tutor, and today in the lecture I will be talking about the calculus class, limit, continuity, and differentiability. So how do you determine this characteristic of a function? Let's look at the first scenario. Does these three functions have a limit? So let's first look at the number 2 function. So as you can see, at point 3 of the x-axis, this function has a break here, and the limit from the right of the function is not equal to the limit from the left, which means this function does not have a limit. However, when we look at the other function, number 3, we can see that although this function has a discontinuity hole at 2 in the x-axis, this function it has a limit because the limit from the right is equal to the limit from the right to the left, or both approaching to 4 for the y value. So this function does have a limit, and the function 1 of course have a limit because it's continuous. Okay, so what determines does the function is continuous? The function is continuous. So at this scenario, we can see this function at every point of this graph is continuous because when you draw this function here, I do not have to lift up my pen, which means that this function is continuous. Okay, but does this function is differentiable? So differentiable means that at every point of this function, the slope for every point should exist. So at 2 here, this function, the slope from the right, you can see is increasing, while the slope from the right is decreasing, which means that this function does not have equals the same slope, which means this function is not differentiable. So what makes a function differentiable? As I have already stated, at every point of this function, it should have a slope. As we can see here in this function, every point has a slope, has a tangent line, which you can draw. Okay, so let's go back to the big picture. If a function is differentiable, it's got to be continuous and it has to have a limit. However, if a function is continuous, it might not be differentiable, but it got to have a limit. However, if a function only have a limit, it does have nothing to say about its continuity or its differentiability. So we can see that the limit is a smaller concept than the continuity, even smaller concept than the differentiability. Okay, this concludes my lecture. This has been a Bullis Student Tutor video. If you liked watching this video, please check out the rest of our videos on our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching and have a great day.